Yes, hi, and welcome to my 17th episode in my Christmas calendar series. This time, after last time's fiasco, we are actually going to up the game a bit, and we are going further on to a new kind of circuit. And do we make the same mistakes on the breadboard as we did last time? I hope not. I hope we actually learned something that this will be smooth sailing all the way. But let's see. First we have to take some theory. Yes, we are still a bit scared from yesterday's attempt to make the counter work on the first try. Of course, that didn't go as well as we had hoped. Today we are going to start to look into other special chips, but we are going to combine the result today with a counter, and might we do that in the future too. And this is the group data selectors, data decoders, multiplexers, demultiplexers, encoders, and so on. And we are going to look at a few different kind of these the next couple of days, I was thinking. And the chip we are going to look into today is a 4-line to 16-line decoded chip, and it's the 7454. And what this chip actually does is that it takes an input here, a digital input here with a 0 to 15 number, presented with 4 digits here, and it's the least significant bit here and the most significant bit on this side. So you can see here they're slowly counting up to 15, and this chip also have some enable inputs, G1, G2. And as long as they are low, we are going to get an input. If one of them is high, you can see here that everything is going to be stuck to high on the output. And that really is what's inside the chip. If you want this to be a decoded chip or something, it's quite easy to make this. And we are going to couple this up with the counter we had yesterday. And this is the circuit that we did yesterday when we actually got things to work. We discovered that we had to tie the load high, and that we have to have the count down when we was not using it. Also, I said low, but I meant high. Of course, you see here this is an inverted input, and this is a positive edge. But even though I tied this high, and I tie this high. And then this can be used for counting, and we are probably going to try this with a pulse train as we did last time. You remember our switch was not totally free of some bunch or some prell, that is called in Norwegian. And we are going to tie all the G1 and G2 there. We are going to tie to low level. So what we are actually going to do, we are going to take this one and tie them low like so. We are going to take the G and D and take it like so. The VCC, of course, will go to plus 5 volt. This always keep its marking from yesterday. And when these are tied low, we only have to connect the inputs. And here we have, we might select different colors. Probably will be the best. So we take bit 0 and stuck it to A. We take bit 1 and connect it here to B. We have bit 2. And that is going to be connected here to C. And we got bit 3. That is going to be connected here to 20. And the outputs, as you can see, you saw that on this datasheet, they was pulling low. And that means that we don't need any drivers in front of this to get a high as a display when this is chosen. So we are going to connect this like so with a diode or LED like this. And we are going to take a 470 ohm. That's what we have on our board. And this is a light emitting diode. So it should have these arrows here. and that we are going to connect to all 16 of these. So we are going to actually see which output is chosen by this counter. So that's the mission for today. We are going to take this up on the breadboard, and hopefully the counter from yesterday is working and already prepped on the board. So let's just get working on that. Yes, we are going to dismount some of this, or demontage, and this one we are going to take down. This is the 74 LS90, and this one I'm going to check that it's still counting. We can do that like so, I think, and I can just check with this one. The outputs is down here. Yeah, I can take some more. I'm going to EA. I'm going to make sure that we have this right, and we can actually leave this up on the board. This was then we start the right way and have this as the most significant bit, and it's going to be this one, like so, and this one is B, and this one is A. Yeah, so now it's standing there counting, and it can do its thing. Or actually I can take off the power. One reason for this is that the chip I'm using today is a HC series, and that is Moose, and we might have some trouble with driving LEDs with this one. We just have to see. I couldn't find any LS or straight 154, so I found all the others but not the 154, so let's hope that we can make do with this one. And we are going to struggle with connecting all the LEDs here today. Yeah, just let's see how this goes. Maybe I should just take this one and put it up here in this corner. The leads might be shorter then. And this one I get to connect one lead from each of the outputs to one of these diodes up here. But first we are going to connect the counting circuit, so that we have the input connected here. We are doing the coupling after this diagram here, and you can of course go back and check. I will put it out somewhere up in the corner of this video, I hope, if I remember. It will be from pin 3 on this one to 23 on this, and pin 2 to 24. I can of course connect the VCC and ground first, as I normally manage to screw those up. This is of course my first screw up, and then it's output C, and it's going to 21, and like so to this one. Then I have the inputs here, and we had the pin 19 and 18, they should be tied low. So that is these two, like so, and the easiest thing for these to be connected low is to hook them up to the ground connection for the chip. That is this one, and then that should be done, and we are actually ready to test something. And we are going to test, we can test with some of the LEDs here. And we have on pin 1 we have the output. So this is just a test to see if we are able to drive some LEDs with these circuits, or that the circuit itself is working, of course. HC chips is very very prone to be destroyed by static electricity. So this should at least give us something, I think. I'm connecting this up now. Okay, yes, this actually did work, and I did a I got almost as a bright light on this as I got on the TTL. It was a bit, yeah, it's a bit dimmer, but you won't even be able to see that on the film, because this is already, yeah, feeding the camera into Blue Vision. So this is, yeah, it's a bit dimmer light, but this is actually working. So we are going to turn this off, and I'm going to connect the rest of these and the way they should be. And to do that, I have to use these leads here. I have to take away these up here that is driving these LEDs, because otherwise these leads won't be long enough. So I do have to buy some longer of these wires if I'm going to use this as intended. So this should be on 2 and 3, and this one and this one. And QA, I couple this the right way counting wise. So this will be QA, will be connected up here, and QA is number pin 3, and pin 3 is the green one, I hope. And then it's the red one down here, and then it's the orange one on this, and the yellow one at last down here. And I'm just going to plug in the 5 volt to test again. Yeah, those 4 bits are working as they should. Yes. And I'm going to take these and start all over here. Sorry, this coupling and this fibbling in front of the camera does not make a good TV, but there really is no other good way to do this. These just are the cheapest Chinese crap. So these leads, when you have used them several times, and if you use them on a contact that's slightly too thick, they will give you all kinds of problems in the future. I'm actually going to fix this so I can see all bits. I'm going to do this. So I'm decoupling like so, and then I'm going to take away these 2 jumpers, because then I can connect the rest of these ones like so. Yeah, and then my struggle begins, but I think these are straightforward. It was a very easy setup on this chip, and that's why they have made this so big and had this in a 600 package and not a 300, because they have more space to route the cables internally. So I'm just going to continue this around the corner. This was the first 10 and 11, and we are just now continuing on the top here. Like so. And that's everything connected, hopefully. First tests. Oh, those green one was really, you can't notice that this is more degraded on film, because this green one was really harsh on my eyes. You can see the 4 over here is doing the counting, and as they count you are shifting this diode, and of course the 6 last ones are red ones with a bit dimmer light. Did I see something glitch here? I have to wait it to shift all the LEDs before I can see. Yeah, number 2 here was not showing, and number 2 is this LED here. I will test the LED, because this should light up with a low, and it does not. So I actually discovered a fault with my board. It probably is a defect LED. Oh, here you got some troubles too. This was staying high. Okay, I am taking the wrong lead. It's the gray one that needs this attention. Yeah, so there actually is a fault with my board, and that I'm going to look into. The LED seems to be the right way, so the fault has to be with this LED, or maybe the moron who forgot to solder this. I think we just blame the moron, because this resistor here is actually not soldered. And I can show you one neat trick, and that is if I take this count wire, I put the count up as high, and I put this like so. Then you will see the LED is shifting the other way around, because now I'm using the count down input on the 7493. So now we are actually counting down and not up as we have been doing so far. It's really a difference on how bright these lights are. But what if I now take and change and say that we are going to change this to 5 Hertz? So there you have light in all LEDs. And I can take and punch in 10 Hertz. Then you have a cool running light effect. Hertz. And that was how much fun we are going to have today with this. So I'm just turning this off for tonight. Yes, that wasn't so hard, was it? We actually got the chip to work, and this is a 74HC logic chip, and it's not totally compatible when it comes to TTL level outputs, and that is why we did struggle with the outputs, that the levels was not quite high enough. But this is a good, very what should I say, easy driven LEDs. Yeah, that's it for this time. Hope to see you again tomorrow.